So, okay, we have so many different things to talk about, and I want to, if you're just hopping on now, I want y'all to know that I'll take questions anytime. They'll pop up on the screen. Just put them in the chat box, and they'll pop up. I have a team here that's helping me, so I can, try to answer the questions in the middle of the webinar. We're also going to go ahead and have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. So if you're just hopping on, I see we already have 10 participants, so I would love to hear y'all's blog. I want to know where you're from and a little bit more about maybe how long you've been blogging. So that way I'll know, I mean, Evie, of course I know how long you've been blogging, but I'd love to know how long y'all have been blogging for. And so that will help me just as I'm talking through at the webinar. So, and make sure that you put your blog on here so we can all give each other a little bit of love, of blogging love. And then tell me, oh, the audio is a little bit low on your phone. Okay, yeah, definitely laptop is better for this kind of thing. If you can hop on that, that would be amazing. So, all right, I cannot wait to get started. We are going to have so much fun. I've got lots to share with y'all, and of course I'm available to answer any questions at all. So if you have any questions, that would be amazing. You can just drop them here. Our hopeful home. Hi, Kat. How are you doing? I'm so glad you're on here, and you're from Chicago, the Windy City. How's the weather up there in Chicago? Is it cold? Is it snowy? I used to live in Chicago a long time ago, and there was a lot of snow for sure. In Texas, we don't have, it's bright and sunny here today. So yeah. All right, if you're just hopping on, oh, y'all are used to it. It's not too bad, you're used to it. I love that. Hi, Leah from the Thrifted Nest. Yay! Leah's blog is amazing. Absolutely amazing, Leah. And she's just did an amazing project for us, and you're just incredible. Leah's absolutely incredible. I'm so happy that you're on here. Hi, Christy from Culver City. I know it well. And we used to live in San Diego, actually a little bit south of there. And do you have a blog, Chris? I'd love to hear from everybody else. This is great. Y'all are hopping on. This is absolutely amazing. We're going to go ahead and get started in just a couple minutes. Hi, Laura. Hey, from Everyday Edits. Yay. Laura's blog is absolutely amazing too. She's been blogging for quite a while. So, and Christina Woodcock from Georgia. And Christina Fay Repurposed. I love anything repurposing. I'm actually about to do a big project using repurposing things. So no blog yet. We were trying to grow your Instagram. I love that. We'll talk. If you have any questions relating to Instagram working with brands, I'd be welcome. I'm more than welcome to take those questions too. I am all about making money on my social platforms. And that would be absolutely amazing. If any questions at all that y'all have, I would love to answer any of them. So, okay, well, in about a minute, we're going to get started. And hi, Kim from Exquisitely Unremarkable. I love that. And from snowy Long Island. I did hear y'all had a little bit of snow up there. And also, Carol wants me to let y'all know that if you want the chat to show to everybody and not just me, you can just click all panelists at the bottom. There's a blue button that says all panelists. Like, so for example, I have it set to all panelists so I can see everybody's chat. And if you guys want to chat with each other, and even, if you have any expertise that you want to hop on and share in the middle of this, I mean, we are all in this together. We are all in this to learn. We are all influencers, and we want to, share our knowledge with each other. So you need to put all panelists and all attendees, so that way you can see everybody. Let me just make sure mine is set to that too. Okay, hi, Anne from Apple Street Cottage. How are you doing? So glad you're here. Anne, where are you coming to us from? What part of the country are you in? So far we have Georgia, we have California, we have Colorado, we have Texas, me, anybody else here from Texas? And you're Victor, and your blog is the DIY Plan. You started your blog earlier this year. That's amazing. And Evie is from Evie's Creations, and we have Leanne and Sarah. Hi from Wisconsin. Oh my gosh, you guys, and you're from the UK. Awesome. This is so much fun. Okay, so if you're just hopping on here now, first of all, we're so full of joy that you're on here. And we cannot, I'm here on behalf of Hometalk, and I'm Hometalk's ambassador, one of Hometalk's ambassadors. And we really wanted to talk today about how to make money from blogs. And we also, and other social media platforms as well. And then in addition, I wanted to go into a little bit of in-depth conversation about this incredible new Hometalk program that we are launching, which is absolutely incredible. I'm going to talk about it at the end. Leah has already participated in it, and it's been highly successful, and we're really launching at full force in 2020. So I cannot wait to tell you all about it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started today. So if anyone's hopping on here and you just joined us, just know that I answer questions during the middle of this broadcast, as well as I will also ask for a Q&A at the end, just in case I missed them. Hi, Randy from A Fresh Squeeze Life in Colorado, the beautiful state of Colorado. So happy that you're joining us. And if y'all want to go ahead, one fun thing is you can go ahead and check out each other's blogs. You can also check out each other's profiles on Hometalk, and just a way to, we want to create a community here, and we're all in this together. So hi, Christina. Oh, she's talking to Randy. Hi, Randy. So y'all already know each other. That's super fun. Okay, so I want to kind of press pause before we get started. And the reason why I feel so passionately about this is I want to tell you a little bit about my story. I've actually been blogging. Hi, Cindy. I've actually been blogging for 7 years. It'll be 7 years in just a couple of days. And when I started this blog, I had no concept, no idea that it would become a business. I was just blogging because I thought it was fun. I was lonely. I was in the middle of the country, and I just wanted to really share my heart with people. And so I started telling stories. I started doing projects. And about a year into it, I realized I attended a blogging conference, and I realized that it could become a business. Now, I have a marketing background, and so I started applying myself and applying all of my marketing, and really started working it as a business. And it's been life-changing. So my blog completely supports my family. I have 4 kids. 2 of them are in college. And the blog is a full-time business, and I am extraordinarily blessed. Last year, I worked with 58 different brands, and Hometalk being one of them. I am extraordinarily blessed to get to work with amazing companies like Hometalk. And so I'm here to really kind of shed a little bit of light on how I got from point A to point B, and anything that I can do to encourage you and uplift you and help you understand that you can do this. It is a thing. I am a person right now with a full-time job as a blogger, and it's just been an incredible, awesome, amazing journey. So one that I would have never believed that I could. So my first tip, so you want to make sure that you grab a pen and paper, because we're going to go fast. Hi, Brooke. How are you doing? The first thing that I would really encourage y'all is to treat your blog like it's a business. We want to treat our blogs like it is a business, because if you don't treat your blog like if you treat it like a hobby, then guess what? It's going to pay you like a hobby. If you treat it like a business, it's going to pay you like a business. And so just like any startup, at the very beginning, it's a lot of work that you put in initially, and then the payoff comes down the road. So right now you might be in the beginning stages. Some of you, I noticed from the comments here, some of y'all are just starting out. You're just beginning your blogs, and some of you are a little bit farther down the road. I know some of you personally, and some of you have had amazing success with blogging, and I hope that your blogging journey only increases from here. But if you're at the beginning of this journey right now, if you're sitting there and you're like, can this be a possibility? Can this be something that I could do? I want to encourage you today. Yes, you can do it. You just have to apply yourself, and you have to really treat it like it is a business, and put in the hours and put in the work. And so the first thing that we want to talk about is not only treating it like a business, but content is king. Content is amazing in this world of blogging. Content is what gets you seen. Content is what enables you to shout your blog out to other people. Content is what enables you to grow your platform. And so my first tip before we get started about branding is I would encourage you, as you treat it like a business, you want to post consistently. So I would probably pick 1 to 2 days a week that you want to post. I personally post 5 days a week. I would encourage you maybe 1 to 2. If you can do 3, that would be amazing. If you do 2, I would recommend Tuesday and Saturday. If you do 3, I would recommend Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Those are amazing days. Saturday is definitely a day you want to post online because so many people are online on Saturdays, and just my numbers are through the roof on a Saturday. So you want to make sure that you include a Saturday. I would also encourage you to have an editorial calendar on your blog. Thank you so much. You want to have an editorial calendar. Now I use, this is crazy, it's old school. Like, remember those things that used to have like the boxes and then you would write with a pen in the box? Remember the pen that like ink came out of it as opposed to just typing something into the computer? So we want to make sure that that's how I do it. You're more than welcome. Yes, you remember. Awesome. Some of y'all may just use an online calendar, and that's amazing too. But myself, I like old school. And so what I do the month prior is, as I'm driving around, as I'm thinking, as I'm planning out, I have a little notebook and I take all of my ideas and I write them down in that notebook. And then before the month starts, so for example, for the month of December, I go through and I plug in on my days, whether it's Tuesday and Saturday or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I plug in what I'm going to post. Because the biggest challenge, especially if you're starting out blogging, is you get to the end and you're like, it's like you tell yourself you're going to post Tuesday and Thursday, and then Tuesday comes and you have no idea what you're going to post. And then what happens is you don't post, and then you just feel guilty, and then you don't post on Thursday, and then you feel guilty there. And so having that editorial calendar gives you a basis for posting all of the rest of the for the rest of the month. And so you want to make sure that you do that. Because I always tell people, it's kind of like if you went to a dry cleaner and the dry cleaner was only open on Mondays at 8 o'clock, and then they were closed for 3 days, and then they were open at 9 o'clock on Thursday, and then they stayed open for 5 days and closed for 3 weeks. Okay, would you go to that dry cleaner? So using our blog, using the analogy of our blog is a business, we want to treat it like a business. We want to make sure that we have time in. We want to make sure that we have posts and we're posting at a regular time. So that being said, creating content, and also creating, just make sure that you're posting on social media regularly and all of that stuff. Those are the basis for really starting to work with brands. So we're going to talk through 4 major revenue streams today with brands. So the first one that I want to talk about is brand partnerships. Now, a lot of people, let me know on here if you're working with brands currently. If you've worked with a brand, just put it on here so I can see. And if you have worked with a brand, did you get paid? Evie, you're speaking to my soul. Yes. Yes, you need to, Evie, it's the editorial calendar that will make the difference with you, is forgetting to write down, just, put it on your notes on the phone, Laura, or you could put it on just a little notebook. Like I have one in my purse, I keep one in my desk drawer. You just want to make sure that you have a little place just to record them, and you don't need to, it's just a little note to yourself to kind of remind yourself what you're going to be posting about. So Cindy's worked with King of Christmas. Yes, that's amazing. I was so proud of you. It was amazing. Desiree, you got your first paying partnership and you're working on your second one. Okay, that is absolutely amazing, because when you start working with brands, excellent, awesome, Sarah, that's amazing that you've worked with brands for a few years. That's great. When you start working with brands, what you'll find is like attracts like. Like you start working with brands, and then all of a sudden another brand, especially their competitors, kind of have an eye online, and they see that you're working with the brands, and then they become invested in you, and you're kind of like, you get on everybody's radar. So how do you make yourself, so probably you're thinking, okay, I want to partner with brands. Yes, once you post with brands, another few brands take notes. Okay, here's just a few basic tips for kind of creating awareness of yourself for brands online. So let's cut back to when I said that I was just doing blogging as a hobby, and I had kind of a moment. I went to that conference and I decided that I wanted this to be like a true business. And so the first thing that I did is I sat down and I made a list of 5 brands that I want to work with. And I would encourage you to do the same thing. So, and how do you know, first of all, how do you even know that brands are working with bloggers? How do you even know that? Okay, the first thing that I would do is, if you see a brand, like just in your travels around Blogland, you'll see that certain brands are working with bloggers. And so, so for example, one brand that I tried to work with desperately, like Hobby Lobby. I wanted to go out with Hobby Lobby, like I wanted a date to homecoming. You know, the football captain was, I waited by his locker. I like hung out waiting for him to ask me to homecoming. And guess what? He never asked me to homecoming. Never. And Hobby Lobby never worked with me either. And part of the challenge is I pursued Hobby Lobby. They were one of my 5 that I wanted to work with. And I pursued them because they were a brand I used all the time. It was completely authentic. But guess what? They did not work with bloggers. So your list of 5 brands that you want to work with, I would 100% make sure that they actually work with bloggers. That's kind of your first step, is that they actually work with bloggers. So you want to make sure they work with bloggers, number 1. Number 2, you have, you want to make sure you kind of get on their radar. So I would do a little bit of research and behind the scenes. So my brands that I wanted to work with, for example, Frog Tape was one of those brands. So I followed Frog Tape on Facebook. I followed them on Twitter. I followed them, you know, on all their social channels. Google Plus, I remember, was one of them. And so I followed them and did, you know, it was like I was always around them and I was commenting on stuff. It was like I was a presence on their social media. And one quick tip, if you're on Instagram and you decide that you want to work, one of your 5 brands is on Instagram, there are hashtags that those brands have. So like hashtag Frog Tape Partner or hashtag Frog Tape Projects. You can research and Google, search on Instagram for those brand hashtags. And then you can go through and find projects that they've put online. So it's not just about commenting on their feed. I also, if I really want to work with a brand, and I actually just did this tomorrow. Hi, Melanie, how are you doing? So glad you're on there, on here with us today. But basically, I would go to the hashtags and so this morning there was a brand that I really, really want to work with. Fingers crossed it works out. And I started my first step. So they made my list of 5 that I was shooting for in December. And I went to their hashtag and I commented on probably 5 or 6 projects on other people's Instagram feeds and just said, oh, I love this. Oh, thanks. So, oh, Melanie, so sweet. And I tagged them in every comment that I left. So anytime possible, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook, you want to tag those brands. So when I was over on Frog Tape's social media, I was tagging them over there. I was also like, if I happened to do a project with Frog Tape, I would at them. Basically, what you're trying to do is wave to the brand and tell the brand, hello, I'm here, I'm available. So the next thing is, how do you even find the contacts for brands? Like, how would you even know how to find a contact? Well, here's a couple of really good ideas. Number 1, contacting them on Instagram is amazing. It's a great place. So I start with contacting them on Instagram, and I'll message them and say, hi, I'm KariAnne. I would really love to work with you, you know, and then I always make it about them. And I think that's probably the most important lesson I can give you on working with brands is it's not just about you. So a lot of times when people are writing a pitch letter, the pitch letter goes something like this. Hi, I'm KariAnne, and I write a blog called Thistlewood Farms, and I'm amazing, and I've done this project, and I've done this project, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and it's me, 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 me. Well, have you ever been in a conversation with somebody and they make it all about them? Okay, is that not appealing? I don't find that very appealing. So what we want to do is we want to be all about the brand. So I would suggest that you go and do a little bit of research on the brand, because typically most brands have products or campaigns or promotions that they are pushing. So for example, they might have like Oreos, you know, they'll come out with, like, that's probably the best example. I don't work with Oreos because I'm not a food blogger, but Oreos will come out with birthday cake Oreos, or they'll come out with mint chocolate chip Oreos, or whatever the newest thing. But you want to be aware of what Oreos is doing. So that way, when you enter into the conversation with them, you lead with that. So I lead with, hi, my name is KariAnne, and I noticed that you have a brand new blank, fill in the blank, whatever. Hi, Kim, fill in the blank with whatever that is. So you fill in that blank with whatever their product is. So you have demonstrated brand knowledge. You have demonstrated that you are all about that brand. And that is so important. That's important when you're writing a pitch letter. That's important whether you're pitching them on Instagram. So you reach out to them on Instagram. You say, hi, I'm KariAnne. I just love your company. You demonstrate brand knowledge by citing maybe a new promotion they have going on. And then the second thing that you do is you ask for a specific thing. You say to them, I have a project. I have a room that needs to be decorated. I think this brand new product that you're trying to promote would be a perfect fit for me. And if you're specific and you demonstrate brand knowledge, you're already demonstrating to that brand that you're all about them as opposed to being about yourself. And then lastly, and these are kind of the magic buzzwords, is I would say to them, who is the person that handles your blogger relations? Because blogger relations or influencer relations, those are important points. So if you're reaching out to them on Instagram, let's just review. You're going to introduce yourself. Number two, you're going to tell them that you know about their brand and demonstrate brand knowledge, and then mention a specific project. And then lastly, you are going to ask for their contact, because typically the person doing social media on brands online is not the person that handles their influencer. It's usually two different persons, depending on the size of the company. Especially, you could have like 5 or 6 people doing their social, and then you have 10 or 12 people over here doing their influencer marketing. So you want to make sure that you're asking for that contact, and then once you get that contact, then you can go ahead and reach out to them via email or however. Yeah, they do glaze over about 30 seconds if you don't engage them, and you need to just demonstrate that you're all about that brand, because you being all about that brand shows them that they can be all about you. Here's another quick tip. If you're trying to find a contact of someone, a brand online, hunter.io is an amazing resource. Hunter.io. Kara, if we want to put that in the comments, that way people can see it. Hunter.io is amazing. Basically, you go to hunter.io and you will put in the name of a brand, and it will pull up all of the emails. Thank you, Kara. Kara's amazing, y'all, by the way. That it will bring up all of the emails associated with that brand. And that way you make sure that, like, okay, here, these are people that are in the company that are working with influencers, and you can go through and, like, depending on the company, it could list between 20 and 25 people. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm getting a little bit sick. So it'll list between 20 and 25 people, and you can go through and kind of vet that against the email maybe that you get from Instagram. But that's a great place to start when you're trying to, you can also reach out to them on Facebook, and adding them, just generally calling attention to yourself as a blogger, is an amazing way to get their attention. So, okay, so now we've talked about what brands you're going to go after to work with. We've talked about how to even get noticed by a brand. Now let's say that you get an email from a brand, and they say, hey, KariAnne, we would love to work with you. We would love to work with you. And where do you go from there? Like, what are the next steps? Going back to what I said earlier, you want to make sure that you have a very specific project. Don't be vague. Don't say to them, hey, girl, you're amazing. I'd love to work with y'all. Okay, no one is going to go for that. Like, you want to say, hi, Frog Tape. I love your delicate surface tape. I have an amazing, I am about to literally paint my windows in my upstairs bedroom. And I think that tape would be a perfect way to showcase your delicate surface, because I live in an older home. The windows are kind of delicate, and that will really show the benefits of your product to my readers. And then emphasize that your readers want to learn about all things DIY, because emphasizing to the brand that you have invested, engaged readers, that's music to their ears. Because here's the thing, and let me just do a little bit of a sidebar here, because all the time I get from people, they say, how far along do you have to be to work with brands? Like, how big do you have to be to work with brands? And here's my thing. I usually tell people about 6 months of content. I'm more concerned with your content and your photography than I am the numbers, because if you give me 1,000 loyal readers, I could rule the world. If I could influence 1,000 people and their buying decisions, I don't need 500,000 readers. I don't need 750,000 readers. And the brands, while that's important and impressive to some brands, for the most part, the only thing that the brand is concerned about is, does the money that they've invested in you for a post, does that translate to sales? Or does that translate to whatever their metric is? If that translates, and let's say that you get 5, 6, 7 people to buy something, if you're influencing, the metrics sometimes for a brand, they don't expect a whole lot. And I think that's also an important point. When you're talking to this brand, you want to find out initially, before the campaign even begins, you want to find out what their metric is, because all metrics from brands are not the same. So sometimes a brand, that's great, Brooke. If you don't ask, the answer is going to be no. You're right. Like, how many I pitch, I mean, y'all, I worked with 58 brands last year, and I wake up every day and I still pitch new brands, because it's like a funnel. You want to keep the brands going over and over. And you want to you just want to always have something, a new job in the pipe. You want to have something coming up in your funnel that you're working on. So I always say, you ask the brand at the beginning of the conversation, you say, what is the metric? What is the metric that's important to you? Because if you don't know what that metric is, how are you going to determine if you can meet their needs? How are you going to determine if the campaign is a success? And you'll be surprised, because sometimes the metric might be, we just want beautiful photographs. Sometimes the metric might be, we want 10 click-throughs. Sometimes the metric might be, we want to showcase our particular product in a brand new way. So once you know what that metric is, then all of your campaigning, all of your writing, all of your branded content that you're creating for them should be to achieve that metric. So I'll give you an example. I just worked with an amazing brand, Hoover Vacuums. Cannot even say enough nice things about them. They're incredible. They're wonderful. And I asked her at the beginning, what is the metric for this campaign? Well, we were doing a giveaway. And so they wanted to truly promote their product through doing a giveaway. So I knew right away, all of my focus, all of my energy should be devoted to showing that brand that I had as many people as possible for that giveaway. So I talked about that giveaway like I don't know, like I was selling Amway or something. Like, I mean, I talked about that giveaway like no tomorrow. And so I promoted it on the blog, I promoted it on Instagram, I promoted it in Instagram stories, I promoted it in Facebook. And at the end, it was highly successful. I think we had, I don't know, maybe 4,000 people sign up for the giveaway, which was huge. So that brand, so then at the end, I said, here's your metric. Here's what I delivered. So the brand said, oh my gosh, you met exactly. Well, what if I didn't know that the giveaway was important to them? What if I had no idea of that? What if what if I was contraring the giveaway and all they wanted were beautiful pictures? Then I should have spent more time on the pictures and less time on the giveaway, but I knew the giveaway was important to them. So I think it's so important if you know what they want, because your goal, it's not just to work with that brand that one time. Your goal is to get them to work with you over and over and over again. And how do you do that? You meet their expectations. So do we have any questions so far on what I've covered? anything that, maybe a brand experience that you've had, you'd like to ask me about. But I also think too, one quick thing before we leave branded content, y'all, I could talk to y'all all day. This is so much fun. Like, I just love talking about this kind of stuff. So a lot of times people say what to charge. So 2 questions I get asked all the time is what to charge for a post. And that is the $1 million question. I think a good rule of thumb is for every $100 for every 10,000 page views. I think that's a pretty good standard. But I always say, when I'm responding to a brand, I always say my sponsored post rate starts at blank, whatever the blank is. So my standard post rate starts at this. And then that gives me a little bit of negotiating room. So if they come back and say, okay, well, now we want more Instagram, now we want this, now we want this, I will come back and maybe upsell them. Like, I'll say, I'll do an extra story for you and it'll be this much more. Or I'll say, let me go ahead and add on photography rights, and that will be X amount of dollars more. The reverse is also true. So if you give them a number, my post starts at this, and they come back and try to undersell you, like, let's say your post, let's just say for this discussion that your post rate started at $1,000. You say, my post rate starts at $1,000. And they come back to you and say, well, that's just not in our budget. Then what you do is, at that point, you start upselling them. So you say, well, normally I charge $1,000 for a post, but because, I really want to work with you, I'll throw in a few extra, I'll throw in a Facebook Live, or I'll throw in a giveaway, or I'll throw in something else to try to upsell them back to that $1,000 so they meet your price point. So if you give them, and also in negotiating, a good point of negotiation is whoever speaks first is usually the loser. So I always try to get them to go first. Like, I'll say things like, what is your budget? Or what do you have a budget for this campaign? Or what are you looking for with this campaign? In other words, I always try to get them to go first, because if you get them to go first, sometimes it's way higher than you thought, and you're like, yeah, like, yay, like, you get so excited. And then sometimes they're like lower, and you're like, well, typically I charge blank. Like, let's say they go, well, we were thinking $750. You come back and you say, well, my post rate started at $1,000, but I'll go ahead and I'm throwing a few things, and you try to talk them up a little bit. And most of the time they have a little bit of wiggle room. They just don't want you to know, because it's negotiating, which is super fun. And if you have any, questions on negotiating, like, I love negotiating. Like, it's like, sometimes I sit here in my pajamas, y'all, with a messy bun, and I just go in, because I think there's just the joy of it, the joy of the process, and the joy of getting to work with these amazing brands. So, okay, so that brand partnerships is one way that you can work with brands. Now, here is something that I also want to talk about, the second revenue stream, which is actually selling your own ads to brands. And when I first started out, I had a goal that first month. I said, I'm going to make $1,000. Oh, it gives you, Cindy, negotiating gives you stomach ache. Okay, just call me. I'll help you, girl. I love negotiating. Because what are they going to do? Say no? And then you just, I don't know, it's fun. Maybe not for everybody. For me. Okay, so the second revenue stream is selling your own ads to brands. So I think that, and that's so overlooked in the blogging world. And this is, back when I first started, I had that goal of making the $1,000. And the first thing that I did is I looked around and I realized, okay, I'm not going to be able to get any branded content because I was so new and I hadn't really started working with these brands yet. So I came up with an idea of posting, instead of, right now we have, y'all probably have ads on your sidebar. You're working with Mediavine, or you're working with, some other ad network. But you also might think about selling your own ads. So, for example, one thing that I did is I came up with, I sold a 250 by 250 ad, and I asked them, so a lot of times this applies for smaller Etsy shops, or I don't know, just smaller brands. A lot of times you'll get a request from a brand. They'll say, we want to trade this product, like a sign company, or a candle company or something like that. I said to them, well, hey, I have this special going on where I'm selling ads on my sidebar. And what I did was, it was 250 by 250, so a square. They sent me the copy. They emailed me the copy, and I just uploaded it like an image and made it click through to their business or website. And then I said to them, if you send me free product, in addition to paying for your ad on the sidebar, I'll go ahead and do a giveaway for you. Or I had this thing where it was once a month, and it was called Thistle Shops. Do they need to be national brands? No. This is for smaller brands. National brands are probably not going to want to pay you for your sidebar ads. They're going to want to work with you on branding content. This is for smaller shops, or like maybe you have a local friend that runs a restaurant or something like that. It's just a way to increase awareness of their brand or product on your blog. So here I sold, for 1 month, I sold $95 for a sidebar ad. And then my second, and then if you bought 3 months, it was $195. So you got a free month in there. And everybody, of course, did the 3 months. And so I asked 6 companies. I sent out a little pitch letter, and I said, I'm KariAnne, and I write this blog called This Wood Farms, and I have the most amazing, incredible, engaged readers, and I made it all about them. And I said, I love your new jewelry line that you have. I love your new candle line that you have. I love whatever. Again, we're going back to that basic concept. I made it about them. And I said, I have these engaged readers that I know would love to learn more about your product. And so I reached out. Oh, how many pages did I? Oh my gosh, girl, I had like 5,000 maybe, I don't know. I had like nothing. But I believed that I could. So I reached out to them and I asked 6. Okay, how many do you think I booked of the 6? Anybody? A guess? Hazard a guess? So I reached out to 6. Oh, y'all have so much belief in me. All 6, y'all think I booked all 6. You had no idea about your ad. Everybody said, oh, 3. Evie says 3. Christina says 6. 4? Nobody's got it yet. No one's got it. Almost like feel like I need to give y'all a prize. 1, no. 0, no. 5. I booked 5 of the 6. 1 person, which I'm sure they're living to regret it today, said no to me, but everyone else said yes. So you do the math. What's 5 times 195? It's almost $1,000. And so I made the $1,000. Then plus I think I made $30 in Google. I had AdSense at the time. And so I made $30, $30 in extra revenue. And that brought me to a grand total. So for my first month that I decided I was going to blog, I made $1,000. And I did it by selling my own ads. So again, let me just repeat. I sold a 250 by 250 ad, a square on the blog. They gave me their own copy. I did not create their ads for them because I'm not very good with graphics. I'm good at negotiating, but I am not good with graphics. And so I uploaded that image to them, to the sidebar, and then I made it clickable back to their blog. And then if they had a product, I asked them to send it to me. And then once a month, I would do a thing called the Shops at Thistlewood. And I wish I had a old post I could show y'all what it looked like, because they're way back in the recesses of my blog, Shops at Thistlewood. And then I would list off all their shops, so the 5 shops that I had, and I list off their specials, and I asked them to give me a code for Thistle, like it would be like Thistle 20, and I would offer 10% off or 20% off. Well, the readers loved it. They were like, KariAnne is getting us all these discounts. KariAnne is like amazing. And the shops loved it. And then I made sure those ads worked. So I got my mom to buy stuff. I bought stuff. I mean, I had like no readers basically at the time, but I got local people here. I would talk about it, and the ads worked. And then something amazing happened. When the ads worked for the people, and when I say worked, I'm not talking about tons and tons of business. I'm talking about maybe 1 or 2 or 3 sales, not a whole bunch, just a few sales, because they were just trying to make their $95 back. And a lot of times they didn't have a big budget, but for them, $95 was like the perfect amount of money. And for me, it was the perfect amount because I made $1,000 my very first month. And so when the ads started working, then they told other businesses. And before I knew it, y'all, no joke, 3 or 4 months into blogging, I had 27 ads on that sidebar. 27. What about So I was like, I'm all about this blogging. You can for sure make money off of blogging. So I just think that that's an underserved thing. I think that people do not spend enough time selling your own ads. Like, why are you sitting around? Sometimes that post that's on your blog, that's a huge chunk of your business to give. At what point is too many? Well, what I did, Melanie, actually, there's a plugin that I used on the side, and they would switch out. So there was only, I think only 12 or 13 showed at a time, and it would rotate. Every time you click to refresh the page, new ones would show up. And so I could have kept going, but at that point, if you can believe it, so you just do the math on that. By the time I got all of them to, sign up on the sidebar, I was making more money on branded content. And so probably after about 6 months of doing that, I stopped doing that because I was making so much more money working with brands on my posts. But for those first few months of blogging, it was a great way to make extra money. So I highly recommend it. A lot of people overlook it and they don't think, oh, I don't remember the plugin. I'm sorry. I wish it was so long ago. I don't remember it. But there was a plugin that you could probably Google it. I'll maybe message me after this and I'll try to see if I can go back and look in the blog and see if I still have it in there. But it was just a way to upload ads. And then one question that a lot of people ask is, how did I bill them? I bill everything through PayPal. So I PayPal them an invoice and then they send me back, and I always ask for money up front. So I always ask for the money before I put the ad. Kim, yeah, so it's an ad plugin, but I can't remember what it is right now off the top of my head. I'll have to research that. So if you want to message me afterwards or email me, if y'all have any questions that you don't want to ask here, feel free to email me. And Kara, you can put this in there. It's thistlewoodfarms@yahoo.com. And I would be more than happy. It was $95 for 1 month and $195 for 3 months. Okay. So thank you, Kara. I love Kara. Okay, so now let's talk through my new favorite way to make money. Bam. Affiliates. Y'all, okay. I don't even know where to begin on this because there are so many, oh my gosh, there's so much potential with affiliates, that stuff that we are overlooking. So at the beginning, when I first started with affiliates, I used Amazon. And some of y'all may have experience with Amazon. Some of you may have experience with other. Shop Your Likes is another great one too. Reward Style is my personal favorite. And if you need an invite to Reward Style, a lot of times if somebody that's already active, and I'm super active on Reward Style, you could use your clout to get the person. Like, in other words, if you send me the thing, I can invite you, and then that bumps you up. I don't know how it all works, but okay, you don't understand how it works. Okay, so basically, let's just talk through Reward Style for a second. You need an invite. Okay, Melanie, just email me after, and I'll send it over there to them. But basically, you install a Link Ninja at the top of your blog, and then when you find a product or something that you like, you just add it to your Reward Style list over there. And I don't want to go through a whole tutorial on Reward Style, but it is amazing, and it does work. But here are a couple of ways that you can make affiliates work for you. My most successful way is to shop my house. If you're a home decor blogger or our friend that's a DIY blogger with your favorite tools, what you want to do is, I have an entire, you can put it, Kara, if you want to put a link to it here, it's Shop My House page on my blog. And I go take you room by room by room, and I show you everything in the room that is shoppable. Now, here's a couple of amazing things I discovered along the way. Number one, I don't think that people actually sometimes want to buy the exact stuff in your room. So if you'll look on my Shop My House page, you'll see, oh, she's putting some stuff here, but then it's almost like I'm creating a mood board for the room, because some of the stuff, just between you and I got out of somebody's trash, or I got it like on super clearance sale, and you can't link super clearance sale on Reward Style or Amazon or Shop Your Likes or any of that stuff. So what I do is I put similar items, or even just like, if you look at my living room, I'm just creating basically a mood board. So it's blue and white. So I have blue and white pillows. And one of my top sellers are these 4 blue and white pillows from Etsy that I literally don't even have in my house. But people don't care because it creates the feeling of the room. So that's tip number one. So you don't have to necessarily have it. So go to your Shop Your House, create it. You can look at mine and see exactly how, oh, there, you can put a direct link to it, Kara, I think, on the page. And that way they can see the example of what I'm talking about. But you don't have to have the exact items. I mean, close enough. You don't want to put, like, obviously if your room's blue and white, you don't start putting purple stuff. But blue and white, just you're creating a mood for the room. The second thing is you want to, you'll quickly discover that 20% of your income is made, excuse me, 80% of your income is made from 20% of your stuff. So in my front living room, when you go look, there is this blue and white rug that is from Wayfair. They also sell it at Walmart. They sell it at Overstock. And that rug is literally almost putting my kids through college. Like, it's that amazing of a rug, and people just keep buying it. So I put it in like random rooms. Like sometimes I'll just link it just because I know that. So you want your top seller. So guess what? When Black Friday rolled around and I was telling people all of the Black Friday deals, guess what I did? Shockingly, I linked the rug again. And shockingly, I linked the same love seat that's from Walmart that keeps selling over and over. So if you notice something, you can look in your analytics and you can see what sells the most. And that's, you want to link that over and over and over. You just ordered that rug. I know, everybody loves that rug. And what's funny is I redid my bedroom upstairs and people were like, oh, I see you moved your rug from your living room to your bedroom. I'm like, no, I just ordered the rug again so I could sell more of it to y'all. So you want to make sure that you have that. Now, if you're a DIY guy, the DIY guy that's on here, or you're a crafter, I'm a silver stamper, so I do silver stamping. So what I do is I put a whole list of silver stamping tools. So anytime you're doing anything, a craft, you want to link all of the tools for the craft. And the more specific the tool is to be used for that craft, the more that people want to know about it. So for silver stamping, they want to know what silver block did you have? They want to know what rubber hammer did you use? They want to know what are the actual stamps? What did those look like? They want to know all of that stuff. And so if you just link those, find those and link those, and then the amazing thing happens with affiliates, and maybe y'all know this or maybe y'all don't, but if like you want to try with affiliates to stick with larger stores, because if you stick with larger stores and somebody goes over, and let's say that you link your, like my rug. Let's say I linked my rug at Walmart. Somebody goes over to Walmart and they don't buy the rug, but while they're over there, Walmart does an amazing job of selling them, 47 stuffed animals for kids for Christmas. Guess who gets the commission? This girl. So that's the beauty of affiliates. And that's why you want to make sure that you're linking to larger stores with your affiliates, because the larger the store, the more chance that there's something else for them to buy. So I would, number one, make sure you have a Shop Your House. If you like, I would also have, if you're a DIY or a tool guy, I would have a whole page of just your favorite tools. I also heard yesterday of a friend of mine, and they were just starting a store. Like they just went through and so let's say you don't even want to shop your house. Let's say you just want to set up a store. You could do that through Amazon. You could do that through, yes, Brooke, you got this. You can do it. I'm not kidding you. Just between us, like totally keeping it real, just between us. Okay. Y'all, I was so dismissive of affiliates. Like years, I'd be like, I don't even care about those affiliates. Like I would give talks on how to make money. I'd say, some people make money off affiliates, but not me. Now I'm like a believer, because it's the one thing that really, it's like you own it. Like you can make a difference, and you are showing your readers, and everybody now, it used to be that people didn't really want to shop blogs. Now everybody wants to shop the blogs. Like if I put a room on there, people, they're like, where'd you get the wrapping paper? Where'd you get the ribbons? Where'd you do this? So it's almost like you're doing your readers a service by showing them the affiliate links. So 100%. But you could set up a store, and you could just say, here's all my favorite things for kitchen. And you just list off things for a kitchen. And you could say, and then have a bathroom, and then list off things for a bathroom. Just fun finds that you're shopping. People come to your blog to see your design style and your taste. And so that is what they want to see. They want to hear what's going on with what you think about products. So I would set up Shop Your House. If you're into tools or crafting supplies or any DIY, have a whole page with just links on that. You can also set up a store. It would be nice to watch a video. Yeah, that is actually I mean, I would be more than willing to talk you through that. It is a little bit confusing at first, but once you get it, it's super easy. So, okay. Let's talk about now. So the first, let's just review. Brand partnerships was first. The second one is selling your own ads on your blog. The third is affiliates. And the last thing, and this is probably the most under-tapped way to make money from a blog. And this is something you can do at this exact moment. Okay. And I call this monetizing your knowledge. So it's monetizing what you know. So every single person in this world, we're all rock stars. We all have something that we do better than anyone else. And guess what? In this world that we live in today, people want to pay for that knowledge. So there's probably things that you do right now that you're unaware. Like you think it's just an ordinary, average day in your life, just doing whatever you're doing. And you are unaware that there are people out there right now who want to learn to do what you're doing. So just as an example, so I'm a terrible cook, not a good cook at all. So if someone said to me, hey, I have a little video that I'm putting together about how to make 7 easy meals using all the same ingredients. Here's the shopping list. Here's this. Here's this. Here's exactly how you did it. And they packaged it in a little package and they sold it for $9.95. I would be like, sign me up yesterday and today and tomorrow and all the days after that. I'm your person. So if anybody does that and they want to like sell it for $9.95, I'm your friend. So just a few quick things. You could do an ebook. You can make an ebook and sell that. You could form a small Facebook group and just, where you're doing a new recipe every month. You could do a recipe of the month and charge people to be in that Facebook group. You could, like, let's say you're good at photography. You could monetize your pictures and sell them. If you're good at writing, you could monetize your writing ability and write for other blogs, write for brands blogs. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, there's something that so you just have to figure out whatever your it is, whatever that it is, and figure out a way to monetize it and get a little creative, because people want your knowledge and they are willing to pay for it 110%. It's just, you have to figure out what you know. And sometimes it's the simplest of stuff. Sometimes it's something that's so simple that you're like, please, who would pay for that? Okay, I guarantee you there's someone out there that will pay for your knowledge. So monetizing your knowledge and really just owning it. And I'm just trying to think through some other things. Like, so for example, I remember way back in the day, I knew about blogging. So I started doing blog consulting. Well, I didn't know a whole ton about blogging when I first started doing blog consulting. I just knew more than the people I was consulting. So really, the big secret is you just have to know more than the people that you're talking to. So you don't have to be like, I don't think you have to write the encyclopedia on it, but you have to have general knowledge about it. And that knowledge is what people will pay for. So you could also partner with local businesses. Let's say, for example, you were a professional at gift wrapping. We'll just say that. You could contact a local business and say, hey, can I come into your business and can I do a full tutorial on gift wrapping, and we'll charge people $5 a person to come and do this. And then you could promote your blog, you could get emails, you could do all this other stuff. I mean, you could do a cooking demonstration. You could reach out to a cooking brand and ask them if they could, like, let's say that you're a food blogger and you could reach out and with, I don't even know cookware. See, I barely have pot holders. I think that's what they're called. Pot holders in my house. And so, so it's like you could reach out to the potholder company and say, hey, I'm going to do this demonstration. Why don't you pay me to go to a local store and do a demonstration using your potholders? You see, it's like the possibilities out there of making money are only limited by what you can dream up. There's so much money to be made. It's just, you have to be the one that's figuring it all out. You can't, if you're sitting back and waiting for somebody to show you the way, to say, oh, by the way, KariAnne, you need to do this and this and this. That's not going to happen. But if you can dream it, there is someone that will pay you to do it. So, yes, you can. And by the way, Evie, I'm not letting you, I saw that right there. You need to make You need 100% to make some of those groups paid. You are too inspirational and you have too much knowledge. And do not let fear stop us. Like, raise your hand. Raise your hand with me right now. And I want you to say to my face in this amazing red lipstick, okay? Oh, Melanie raised her hand. Oh, I love that. Okay, I am not going to be afraid anymore. I'm not going to be afraid. I am going to do this. I am going to turn my blog into a business. Okay, so real fast before we wrap up, you are not going to be afraid. I want to hear it. You are not going to be afraid. You are going to do this. And so I want to talk to you about this amazing, incredible, awesome, exciting opportunity that Hometalk has. And oh my gosh, first of all, before I even get started on Hometalk, there are so many amazing things that are being rolled out in 2020. And I've seen them personally, and they are incredible. Hometalk is all about honoring bloggers. Hometalk is all about making bloggers feel special. That's why they have me on here today to talk to all of y'all and really encourage you. All right, Leanne, you raised your hand. I love that. That's why they're on here. They have me here today to share all of this blogging stuff with y'all. And so you make your blogs better. They want to come alongside you and help you to make your blogs better. So we have these incredible brand new follow buttons that are going on Hometalk. We have brand new social buttons that are going on Hometalk. It's like, absolutely, Hometalk is getting a complete blogger facelift, and they are all about you and recognizing that you are important and that you are special and that you're an incredible part of the Hometalk community. And they want to come alongside you and help you be the very best blog you can be. And to that end, we have developed a brand new program. It's called the Hometalk Branded Content Program. And what we have done, so we've gone out there. So let's say that you're a blogger and you have a smaller platform, but you're an incredible photographer and you have incredible projects and you have incredible heart for getting, encouraging people and getting, you just installed the new buttons. Aren't they amazing? They're so amazing. I mean, I just think they make such a huge difference. They made me feel so important as an influencer. So, and we've got way more changes coming. I mean, Hometalk, if you got to hear it from my mouth, they believe in you 100%. I know, Evie, you have done so much stuff with them and they have always supported me too. I'm with you 100%. I'm all in on Hometalk 100%. So anyway, with the new branded content program, you are this blogger, you have a smaller platform, and you want to work with brands. But brands, when you reach out to them, sometimes they say, well, you don't really have a big enough platform. Well, guess who has a platform? Hometalk. And they want to pay you. Yes, you. The person I'm looking at right now. They want to pay you to work with brands. Okay, raise your hand if that's amazing. You have got to be all in on this. I can't even believe it. They are going to let you use their platform to work with brands. So we have so many fun, amazing brands. We already have some on board right now. We've already done several campaigns, and we want you to be part of it, because what happens is we have the brands that we've contacted, and they want to work with bloggers. You're the content creators. You create the content on Hometalk, and then you get paid. And you can also put on your resume that you worked with that brand. So it's like a win-win for, I know, Cindy, I know, it's so incredibly awesome. 5 participants, wait, you gotta raise both hands. We gotta raise both of our hands because this is so amazing. So Hometalk, and these are brands that are incredible. I mean, they're amazing brands that we are blessed at Hometalk to be able to get to work with. And so again, let me just repeat and make sure. 6 participants, wait, I don't know how to raise my hand. I mean, does this count? It keeps showing people are raising their hands. So basically so at Hometalk, I've been working behind the scenes to contact these brands, and they're all in. They're all excited. And we already have had several campaigns that have gone successfully, and the brands are like, we want to do it again. It works so well because the content creators that we worked with created such amazing content that the brands were blown away. And the numbers that they saw from being featured on Hometalk, and those projects were featured in the newsletter and they were featured on social. And then the blogger can turn around 30 days later and featured on their own blog. So you get a post for your blog. In addition, you get paid to create content for a brand and have it featured on Hometalk. That's That's amazing, y'all. It's absolutely amazing. So also we do want to talk, they wanted me to just kind of briefly talk about how are you getting noticed? Like, so on Hometalk, we want to see you. We want you to show up. We want to see your tutorials. We want to see the full step-by-step tutorial. And I get it. I think that sometimes people try to post half the tutorial and then like have a link back to their blog. I don't really think that works for anyone. I don't think it works. Like when I do it, it doesn't work for me. So I found a few other ways to drive traffic to my blog from Hometalk. What happens is I post the full step-by-step tutorial, and then at the end of it, I put a link. So I search. So like the other day I was doing it gets you really good traffic. So the other day I was doing let's say it was a painted furniture post. So I go to my blog and I search painted furniture. So it pulls up on my blog, that URL, the searchable URL, pulls up all of the painted furniture projects on my blog. And that is the link. So I finish, give the step-by-step, and then at the end, I say, hey, these are all, you like these painted projects? Here's even more painted projects that you can go to. And it sends them to a page on my blog with all of my painted furniture. So I'm getting like, for every person they send over there, I'm getting like 6 or 7, clicks per person because there's all the projects on that page. I just think that works better for me. I love that. And I think then it's a win-win because the reader gets the full step-by-step. You're not trying to like get frustrated because you're only giving half the step-by-step. That's a personal decision. Y'all can post on Hometalk as y'all like. I'm just telling you the way I do it. And I think what is best practice. And the thing is, those brands are now looking at your Hometalk page. So for those of you who have signed up to the program, and if you're interested in signing up for the program, you can contact myself, or you can contact Kara. We're always looking for new people to sign up. We want all of y'all that are on here to be on board. But those people, we're showing them your Hometalk profile. So the more that you have these amazing posts on Hometalk, the more likely that brand is to say, oh, look at what they can do. Look at their amazing content. And then you get selected for the program. So, phew. That was a lot. Y'all, I got it in, all of it, 11:57. So we want to be all in on you on Hometalk. So we want to hear from you. So I'm going to be probably talking to some of you over the next couple of months. I want to hear what we can do at Hometalk to make things better. I think the branded content program and all the new social buttons and everything that we have, I think that's an amazing, amazing start to amazing things that are going to be happening. Hi, Holly. Thank you. This was so much fun. Okay, y'all, seriously, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to Kara. But before we go, I just want to close with this because I think sometimes we live in a world in blogland that is full of competition. There's, it's comparison. Like, oh my gosh, you guys, I had like a moment the other day because I made the mistake of looking through Instagram and people, there was just a lot of people on there and they were all doing amazing stuff. And sometimes it just makes you feel less than. It makes you feel small. It makes you feel like, am I really enough? And I'm here to tell you today that you are enough. You are amazing. You're incredible. And the voice that you bring to the world is something that nobody else has. And so your goal for 2020 is to get that voice out into the world and to let your voice be heard because there's no one else like you. Not a single person in the entire world just like you. And I want you to shout your voice from the rooftops. I want you to be heard. I want you to treat your blog like a business, and I want you to make as much money as you possibly can and live your very, very best life. So y'all have a day as amazing as you are. Thank y'all so much.